Chapter 2, Potato Pancakes, 1929. Mother and I were still at breakfast when Frau Schneider rang our bell. She had been asked to go to City Hall and didn't know how long she would be. She didn't want to take him with her either. Could he stay with us? Of course, my mother said. Bring him down and the two boys can play together. Half an hour later, Friedrich was at the door. We knew each other and had even quarreled. But even though he had lived above us for 4 years, Friedrich had never been inside our apartment before. Legs spread wide, I blocked the door to my room. My mother's pleas achieved nothing. I didn't budge. Defiantly, I looked at Friedrich. I didn't want to share my toys with him. Friedrich looked back. Then he squatted down with his back against our front door. He pulled a bit of twig from his pocket. My father was in the Black Forest, he said. He brought me this whistle from there. It's a cuckoo whistle. Friedrich lifted it to his mouth and blew, cuckoo! He put it down again and laughed. My eyes must have grown very large. Each time Friedrich blew, cuckoo! I moved a step closer till I stood right in front of him. Friedrich laughed again and pressed the cuckoo whistle into my hand. At first, I didn't understand. Speechless and stupid, I stared at him. Then I understood. I took Friedrich's sleeve, pulled him across the hall, and pushed him into my room, into my toys. You can play with them, I told him, saving only my bear. Bear at my side, I crouched in the corner beside my bed and blew cuckoo, nothing but cuckoo. Friedrich started with my building blocks. He unpacked them and tried to build them into a tower, but the tower kept collapsing. At first, Friedrich didn't mind. He even laughed. But then he got angry and scolded the wooden blocks. Finally, he toppled everything himself and looked for another toy. He found my truck. He piled the blocks into it and pulled the loaded truck across the room. By this time, I'd have enough of the cuckoo calls. My lips hurt and my jaw ached from the unaccustomed blowing. I put the whistle aside and got the train out of the toy cupboard. Friedrich handed me the rails and I fitted them together. Then when we set up the cars, I let Friedrich wind the engine. The train pulled off. If we wanted it to stop, we had to slide after it on our stomachs and adjust a lever in the caboose. But the train usually stopped by itself because the engine had run down. At first we played Fright Train, loading the cars with dried horse chestnuts. Then I showed Friedrich how to derail the train, and we played Railroad Disaster. At last, we grew tired of playing. Stretched out on the floor, we stared blankly at the lamp. Strewn all around us were building blocks, rails, chestnuts, railroad cars, old rags, and bits of paper. Only my bear still sat upright in his corner, surveying the mess. Just then, Mother came into the room. She asked us to help her make potato pancakes. We had only potato pancakes on very special occasions. They were my father's favorite dish, and my mother always let us help her make them. Father usually ground the potatoes, and I chopped onions until my eyes watered. Since Father wasn't home, I stuffed the peeled potatoes into the grinder, and Friedrich turned the handle. Mother cut up the onions herself. Friedrich and I sprinkled flour over the batter and added a pinch of salt. We were very proud of our contribution. Mother put the pan on the burner and poured oil onto it. The oil began to splutter. It smelled delicious. Mother turned the pancakes. Ready! The edges were a crisp, dark brown, growing lighter toward the center and changing into a grayish green. Friedrich got the first potato pancake. Hot! Warned Mother. Friedrich tossed the pancake from one hand to another. I grabbed it from him. Friedrich got it back. We wrestled. Mother scolded. The oil in the pan sputtered. The pancake landed on the floor. We came to an agreement. Friedrich bit into one side, I into the other. That way we ate all the potato pancakes. A real feast. We leaned against the wall by the stove, tired and full. And you didn't leave a single one for Father, Mother said. A pity. She cleared away the pan, then looked us over. You're a sight, she decided, into the bathtub. What she said next was drowned by our bellows of joy. Baths are grand, but they are much, much grander if two take them together. We slapped the water, shrieked, gurgled, shouted, splashed, and laughed. Mother had to run from one end of the tub to the other, Mopping up water we kept spilling on the floor. Not until our landlord knocked at his ceiling did we calm down. Mother used this opportunity to scrub us clean. One soaping wasn't enough. Only after the third rinsing could you recognize us. While I still splashed in the tub, Mother dried Friedrich and said jokingly, "Well, Fritzchen, you look like a little Jew."